Hello and welcome to the Mindful Making video podcast. If you are into yarn and into making and into knitting in particular, you have landed just the right place, because this is all about yarn and about knitting and the joy and the sense of grounding that making with our hands gives us. My name is Jane and I am coming to you from Hornsby Heights, which is north of Sydney in Australia. I am a Danish Australian and I've lived here for 11 years. And before we start, I just want to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I am recording this video from. I am on Darug Ku-ring-gai land and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Always was and always will be Aboriginal land, and this land was never ceded. So welcome, and this is episode number 51. Today it is Saturday the 8th of July. And I hope you have a cuppa and your project and will sit back and enjoy a bit of knitting with me. I enjoy and look forward to recording these videos for you. So sit back and relax and work on your project. The introduction video was from a walk I had last weekend, and it was in St Ives, which is half an hour drive from where I live. And I just looked up on Google to see if there were any bush trails close to where my daughter works and where I drop her off for her work on Saturdays. And then I went to this Cascade Trail. And it was a beautiful day, bit of wind and a bit of chill in the air, but still sunny and blue skies. So I hope you enjoyed that little video of that walk. I have not been knitting as much as I normally do, so I think knitting wise this episode will be fairly short. But let's see the duration when we first get going. Towards the end, I will share a bit of my personal story and what I'm facing at the moment. So that's why the title of this episode is Short and Deep, because that will be that later half will be going a bit deeper into personal matters. But let's start with what is on my needles and if there's anything finished. I can say there's nothing finished, so that's easy. That's easy to just give a tick mark. Finished objects, nothing. What is on the needles? I will start there. I have started something small. 25th of June, my niece gave birth to her lovely daughter, Hermine. They live in Norway, and Hermine is the Norwegian and Danish pronunciation. In English it will maybe be Hermione or Hermine. A beautiful new addition to our family, the bigger family. And I thought, well, one of my friends said, you know, whenever there is an opportunity to knit baby clothes, I am just jumping onto that opportunity, and I took her advice. So I am knitting a little dress. Well, not so little actually, because it is, I have decided to make a size 9 month to 12 months, and I'll just untangle this. This little dress is called Bella dress, or Bella kjole. It is designed by Lene Holme Samsø, a Danish knitwear designer, and I am using the Holst Coast yarn, a merino cotton blend 50-50, and it is in colorway Cocoa. I have this colorway in the shop as well. It's a beautiful gray, purpley brown. So I think this will be very pretty for a little girl. And I think when, you know, knitting a size 9 to 12 month, there is a likelihood that this little girl will be up standing at least. Otherwise I don't know how practical dresses are for small babies. Yeah, it's the Bella dress, and it is from this little book in Danish. This is one of the old favorites. It was published in 2013, so 10 years ago, and it has these beautiful little knits for babies. I've basically knitted, well, I don't know whether I've knitted everything in here, but I'll just show you a picture of the dress, if I can find it. For all of the Bellas. They are here. So the dress is the brown one towards the end of this hanger. Ooh, there. And it has this little leaf pattern around the yoke and around the neck. Yeah, a lovely little project which I enjoy very much. This will be finished in a flash, so a couple of nights and it will be done. In the last episode, one of the finished objects was the antique Flora, a beautiful jumper with an all over color work pattern. And if you want to see more of that, then go back to episode number 50 and you'll see all about it. That jumper has now been gifted because I made it a size too small. It was a bit too tight for me. There was some leftover yarn from that project. It does, yeah, there. It is a beautiful sock yarn, and it's by It's Yarn, and it is called Rhabarber, this colorway, Rhubarb. Beautiful tones of pink, orange and mustardy yellow. So I had this much left of 100 gram skeins, and then I also had from a pair of socks I made earlier in the year. I had an Avetta Classic left over, 2 of these. So I thought I would make a sock with these 2 together. So here it is. So the color work, or the colorful yarn, is in the toe and then striped throughout, and then on the top of this is probably called the instep. So on the top of the foot I have just done a 2x2 ribbing and stockinette underneath. And you see I am working toe up, and I'm trying to learn to make a heel flap and gusset. So I am working the gusset, and eventually, well, quite soon I think, the heel flap will be added, and it will be in this in the rhubarb colorway. I have done this a few times, this attempt to the heel flap and gusset, but I think now it is right. I'm just using a YouTube description video of working toe up with a heel flap and gusset. Yeah, so I just need to pay attention now, because now we move into an area that I haven't done before with the heel flap. So the first sock is almost there, and then the second will be put on the needle. But I just love this color combination. If you are keen to use the same stripe flow, I am knitting the hand dyed yarn is just 2 rounds and then 4 rounds of the main color. These are worked on a 2.25 millimeter needle. I like when the socks fits snugly on my feet. So and with the ribbed texture as well, it just pulls in the fabric around the foot. So I like that. Well, 1 pair of socks, and you will hopefully see the finished pair. That will be a finished object in the next video. I might just shift into a section of what I'm wearing, because I am wearing the Bentley cardigan. I have worked this, so it has a little, you can't see that here, maybe you can see it over here. There is a tiny bit of texture on the front piece, and then stockinette on the shoulders, and a stockinette back, yes, the stockinette on the back. It is a design by Olive Knits, so Marie Green, she is an American knitwear designer. I've knitted a lot of her designs some years back, and this is also some years old. It is worked in the baby alpaca from Sandnes garn in a deep blue colorway, and I can't remember the name or number. It is a few years back. It is probably available on my Ravelry page, where I am mindfulmakingAU, if you want to see my project pages, and that's also where I sell my knitting designs. You can also find me on Instagram as mindfulmaking, and on my website mindfulmaking.com.au, where I sell my knitting patterns, and I also sell the coast yarn and super soft and Titicaca from Holst garn in beautiful colorways. So have a browse and see if there's something you fancy. So that is what I'm wearing. I'm going out for a gathering tonight, so I thought this will be an ideal opportunity when I've done my hair, a bit of makeup and lipstick, and ready to celebrate Christmas in July, so the middle of July, and with my beautiful choir. So we will meet up in an hour's time or so. So that would be lovely. The last work in progress is the Optic blanket that I also showed you in the last episode. I have come a bit further, and let's see. Yeah, I am still totally in love with this project. I think it will be an ideal weight for a snuggly blanket, but not too heavy either. So now I just and as I mentioned, this blanket is worked in these squares, so you sort of start from the outside and then move in. So you can see here it is a big circle, and then the circle will move in with decreases and slip stitches. I have now moved into the 4th column. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. You will see this a few times. And over the next episodes. But I enjoy working on this from time to time. It keeps me warm when I'm sitting at the couch in the evening. And the yarn is the black is a cotton wool from Garnuset, and the grey is slate grey. Super soft yarn. I have both colors in the shop if you would like to make a blanket similar to this. They are both fingering weight yarns, and this blanket is worked on a 4mm needle, so a US 6, and it will bloom and fill out, I think, more when it's washed, but it's nice and bouncy. Yeah. Yeah, I love it, and I enjoy working on it as well. Coming back to the stats for my knitting in 2023, with no finished objects. June, yardage in June is a big round 0. But last month I knitted up 8,814 meters, but that was because I finished another blanket that has been 5 years in the making. Yeah. So June, a big round 0. There we go. Sometimes that happens, and next month will hopefully be better knitting wise. I have many lovely, beautiful friends, and 2 of my dear book club friends thought of me when they were on holiday and brought me back skeins of yarn. So one, Kate from my book club, brought back this purple hand-dyed yarn from Salamanca Market in Hobart in Tasmania, and it is a 4-ply sock, and it's 75 superwash merino and 25 nylon. Yeah, it's gorgeous and very, very soft and squishy. Standout. Oh, hand-dyed in Launceston, so it wasn't a Hobart thing anyway, and no Salamanca Market. It's Launceston, sorry. Semi-solid tonal here. Color blackberry. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And another book club lady, Katie, brought me back this skein of yarn from a trip to New Zealand. A wonderful blend of purple, light blue and pinks. And this is a sock yarn as well. It is a brand called Tootsies. And let's just see. Countrywide yarns, all-purpose 4-ply fine merino sock yarn. And it is from Auckland in New Zealand. 75 superwash and then 25 nylon, and the shade is 458. You know, and if there is anything left, I could pair these two up with you know, cuff, heel and toe in the dark or the solid tonal color. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So thank you, dear friends, for thinking of me when bringing back souvenirs from their holidays. So beautiful. It is turning a bit dark outside, so let's see if the light still works. Well, that actually brought us to the end of the crafty content. And if you're just here for knitting related, yarn related information, then you may want to drop off now. And I say thank you for stopping by, and please give a thumbs up, like, and press the little bell to be notified when there is a new video up. Thank you for tuning in. If you're a new viewer, I'm so happy you are here, and I welcome you into the Mindful Making community. If you are coming back as a viewer, you are also most welcome. It's so great to have you here. So let's move into more on the deeper part. Over the last half year, so the first part of 23, if you've been here before, you would have seen that it's been a challenging year so far. My mum passed away in January, and at the same time, my husband declared that he wanted a divorce. And he moved out, and over the last 6 months I have tried to, well, he has as well, but I have done everything I can to try to move that decision from splitting up into let's try and repair. And it's very hard. It's like having the rug pulled out from under your feet. My life's turned upside down. What I thought was my life to be, and the dreams that I had together and us as a family unit, will not happen, and I have to look towards something else. I have not finished grieving yet. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, most mornings, with a very tight chest, heart pain, heartache, because I'm just anxious about, the future and all the things that needs to change, and financially, what will it look like for me? And I just feel, the sorrow of us as a family unit, it feels like it's just so that's what has been going on. So it's my marriage has broken down. I'm devastated, anxious, fearful, and grieving. I have had and still have some amazing friends around me, and I wouldn't, well, I'm about to say I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. And I think what that has taught me is that when people around you, and when I am on, when I've moved through it all and in a better place, I hope I can pay back. And I know that what helped and what has helped me throughout this is just people standing up and standing by me. So I think my advice, if you have somebody close to you who are grieving, who are going through a hard time, just go there, be with them, just sit with them. That has been what I have enjoyed the most, is people just saying, I will come and pick you up, I will take you for a walk, I will come bring lunch, I will come out, and we can just have a chat, or you just come over and we can just sit on the couch and watch the TV together. It's hard sometimes when you're grieving and people say, well, reach out anytime, I'm here to help. But sometimes you don't know what you need help with. So I think what I have learned and what I will share with you is just do things, bring them, some yarn or some handmade goodies. If you cook or bake, bring them something, or just a cup of coffee, or just a hug and a telephone, a visit, a walk. That has been so helpful. And I, from the bottom of my heart, I thank those of you who watch this, who are close to me, and have been there. You know who you are, and I thank you so much. I also put out a post on Instagram in July, just saying what is going on, and I received so many supportive messages and virtual hugs. It means the world. It means the world. So just know that even though you are far away, and even though it might seem distant, putting in comments or hearts or just messages, it touches the heart. So thank you so much. It is meaningful, and we can connect even though there are kilometers between us. We can connect as human beings, and we need to connect as human beings. And we can connect through our common passion for craft. I cherish the time that I have with you, and I cherish this community. Thank you for being there, and thank you for letting me also share some of the less pretty, less upbeat, but nonetheless authentic and honest situation of where I am on a personal level. Thank you for your kindness, and keep on knitting, and I hope to see you again soon for new knitting related content, and I will also keep you posted on how I'm going. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.